Semper Paratus, always ready. For over 2 centuries, the U.S. Coast Guard has been the nation's first line of defense for maritime interest, in the heartland, in the ports, at seas, and around the globe. The Coast Guard is charged with protecting our maritime economy and environment, defending our maritime borders, and saving those in peril.
Heads up!
Time and time again, the Coast Guard has proven to be always ready for all hazards and all threats. The U.S. Coast Guard is America's maritime guardian. On an average day, the Coast Guard saves 13 lives, screens over 600 commercial vessels and 170,000 crew and passengers, responds to 64 search and rescue cases, and investigates 12 maritime accidents. The Coast Guard 9th District operates in an environment unique to anywhere else in the country. The Great Lakes are a seasonal, shared, saltless system that supply drinking water to millions and facilitate a $1 billion regional economy. Sector Lake Michigan is a key member of the Coast Guard 9th District team. Sector Lake Michigan is responsible for over 1,600 miles of shoreline and 19,000 square miles of water, including a majority of Lake Michigan and numerous inland waterways. The area of responsibility also covers jurisdiction in 4 states: Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan. Sector Lake Michigan is responsible for all of the Coast Guard's 11 missions, which are mandated by law. These are ports, waterways, and coastal security, drug interdiction, aids to navigation, search and rescue, living marine resources, marine safety, defense readiness, migrant interdiction, marine environmental protection, ice operations, and other law enforcement. Sector Lake Michigan's missions change with the seasons. In the winter, ice rescue and ice breaking are vitally important to the region. The men and women responsible for executing the Coast Guard's missions throughout the Sector Lake Michigan area of operations consist of over 541 active duty and civilian personnel, over 208 reservists, and over 1,251 Coast Guard auxiliarists. The Sector Lake Michigan commander wears many hats. Their primary responsibility is port safety and security. They also ensure the safety of vessels and waterfront facilities and are responsible for the protection of navigable waters and the resources therein. The commander's specific responsibilities include Captain of the Port. As Captain of the Port, the sector commander is responsible for the safety of vessels and waterfront facilities and the protection of navigable waters and associated resources. Officer in charge of marine inspection. As OCMI, the sector commander is responsible for the inspection of over 500 vessels to ensure compliance with applicable laws, rules, and regulations. The sector commander leads marine casualty and accident investigations and initiates administrative action against credentialed mariners for negligent operations, violation of laws and regulations, misconduct, or incompetence. Federal On-Scene Coordinator. As FOSC, the sector commander directs and coordinates all effort at the scene of hazardous material release or oil discharge. Federal Maritime Security Coordinator. As FMSC, the sector commander directs the Area Maritime Security Committee and helps develop, maintain, coordinate, implement, and exercise the Area Maritime Security Plan. Search and Rescue Mission Coordinator. As the SMC, the sector commander oversees the prosecution of all search and rescue cases within the area. As a regional coordinator for security, Sector Lake Michigan maintains working partnerships with numerous city, county, and state law enforcement forces. The sector commander also serves as the regional liaison to federally recognized Native American tribes, maintaining an important and mutually beneficial relationship. Sector Lake Michigan is made up of 3 departments and 5 staff elements. The departments include Response Department, Prevention Department, and Logistics Department. The staff elements include Intelligence Staff, Contingency Planning and Force Readiness, Sector Command Center, Senior Reserve Officer, and the Command Master Chief. The Response Department is responsible for directing, overseeing, and providing risk assessment and operational support to all sector response units, including stations. Directing the execution of the following missions: search and rescue, marine safety, ports, waterways, and coastal security, illegal drug interdiction, undocumented migrant interdiction, other law enforcement, marine environmental response, and defense readiness operations to ensure sector unity of efforts. conducting response planning and coordination with other federal, state, and local partners to jointly respond and mitigate the effects of maritime threats and vulnerabilities. The Prevention Department conducts activities that maintain a safe and secure maritime transportation system, save lives, and protect property and the environment. These activities include inspection of U.S. flag commercial vessels, ports, facilities and containers, dangerous cargo handling, foreign flag vessel examinations, oversight of uninspected vessels, marine casualty investigation, waterways management, and navigation and boating safety. All efforts are focused on preventing casualties, mitigating consequences when casualties occur, and investigating and taking actions that prevent future casualties. The backbone of Sector Lake Michigan comes from the Logistics Department and its mission support elements. This includes personnel administration, supply chain management, food services, health services, and engineering, which is responsible for the routine and emergency maintenance of 40 vessels and over 25 facilities. These crucial missions keep our members safe, our assets at peak operational readiness, and all of our units well outfitted to serve the American public. The Contingency Planning and Force Readiness staff ensures sector components are thoroughly engaged in the preparedness cycle through the development and exercising of operational and contingency plans. It also houses a team of ready for operations evaluators who ensure the 16 stations are properly trained, qualified, certified, and outfitted for all of their operational missions on the water and the ice. And finally, CPFR is home to the Reserve Force Readiness staff, which coordinates reserve force preparedness, operational readiness, mobilization and demobilization of the sector reserve forces. The Sector Command Center is the tactical nerve center for the sector and directly coordinates the initial responses for all 11 of the Coast Guard's mission areas. It employs state-of-the-art technologies to ensure expanded maritime domain awareness and response capabilities. In order to execute its mission, Sector Lake Michigan has 16 small boat stations, 2 aids to navigation teams, 2 seasonal air facilities, 1 marine safety unit, 1 marine safety detachment, 1 sector field office, and over 50 members of our marine safety team, including vessel, port, and facility inspectors, marine casualty investigators, pollution responders, and waterway managers. The 16 multi-mission stations include Station Sturgeon Bay, Station Green Bay, Station Two Rivers, Station Sheboygan, Station Milwaukee, Station Kenosha, Station Wilmette Harbor, Station Calumet Harbor, Station Michigan City, Station St. Joseph, Station Holland, Station Grand Haven, Station Muskegon, Station Ludington, Station Manistee, and Station Frankfurt. During the busy summer season, the Coast Guard mans 2 additional stations in Chicago and Washington Island, bringing the total number up to 18. Each station is typically outfitted with a 45-foot response boat or a 47-foot motor lifeboat, plus additional 25-foot response boats. During the winter months, the boats are hauled out of the water and stations shift to ice operations. Station Sturgeon Bay has 2 specialized airboats for ice rescues, and the remainder of the stations use a small inflatable boat to assist ice rescue personnel. Each Coast Guard station has a senior enlisted member or chief warrant officer in charge and a crew ranging from 15 to 70 personnel. There are reserve components at 6 of the stations, and most have a dedicated crew of Coast Guard auxiliary volunteers who assist by monitoring the radios, preparing meals for the crew, and conducting boating safety patrols. The Sector Lake Michigan aids to navigation teams are in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, and Muskegon, Michigan. Each aids to navigation team has a senior enlisted member acting as officer in charge and a crew of 11 personnel. These teams operate, establish, and maintain over 475 floating and fixed aids to navigation within the area. This includes 83 lighthouses across 4 states. Through strong leadership, highly trained personnel, superior equipment and structure, and state-of-the-art technology, Sector Lake Michigan diligently executes its duties and responsibilities as America's Maritime Guardian. United States Coast Guard Sector Lake Michigan is Semper Paratus, always ready.
At Sector Lake Michigan, we're always ready.